I'm like blown away. I'm literally blown away. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Welcome to season 1, episode 2 of Foundation Friday. Yes, I know it's not Friday when I am uploading this. It's actually Friday when I'm filming this, and I wanted to get this up to you all immediately because last night in the mail from Ulta, I got a very exciting package. I got the brand new Morphe Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation. So that is what we are trying out today. Before we get into that, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Estee, and on my channel, we discuss everything in the beauty world and sometimes some other things. So if that interests you, be sure to subscribe down below. It means everything to a small creator like myself. Before we get into the demo, I did want to tell you all some information about this foundation. So let's start with that. Right off the bat, I want to talk about this gorgeous packaging. It's a really simple frosted glass. It's super sleek and super nice, and it comes with a pump, which I absolutely love. And for the claims, I'm reading this right off the Ulta website. It says, best filter ever. The Morphe Filter Effects Soft Focused Foundation is an oil-free, skincare-infused foundation that delivers a natural finish for healthy-looking skin. This luxe long-wearing formula is designed to blur and diffuse the look of imperfections while deeply hydrating and nourishing the skin. Crafted in Italy for the ultimate soft focus filter effect look and powered by high-performing skin perfecting ingredients. This silky smooth medium to full coverage is buildable and developed across 40 shades for a range of skin tones and undertones. Plus, it's made to keep up with you thanks to sweat-proof, transfer-proof, and waterproof performance that lasts 12 hours. It's the best filter you'll ever use. So it definitely has a heavy amount of claims. The ones that obviously get my attention is that it's medium to full coverage and that it should last up to 12 hours and it has a nice natural finish. And then it also claims to be infused with some skincare ingredients. So it says that it's infused with hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and glycerin. Because I did go ahead and pick this up online via Ulta, I did go ahead and purchase 4 shades because I cannot shade match myself online. Here are the shades I picked up. From left to right, we have Filter Light 8, which is light medium with a slightly golden undertone. Then we have Medium 9, which is light medium with a neutral undertone. Then we have Medium 13, which is medium with a neutral undertone, and Medium 14, which is medium with a golden undertone. As far as the shades go, I think they did an amazing job with the shades, as you saw in the swatches. I feel like the shades with the neutral undertone had a really true neutral undertone, and I feel that a lot of times with neutral undertones, they can swatch and look on the skin very pinkish and actually cool toned. So I really appreciate that they nailed the undertones with this foundation. Also, because I did pick this up at Ulta, I actually got the brush for free. So they released a brush and a sponge to correlate with this foundation. I wanted to pick up the sponge also, but it wasn't available on Ulta for some reason, and I was planning to pick up this brush anyways, which is the E63, and I'm so happy that when you bought this foundation you got this as a free gift, so that is awesome as well. You'll be seeing the full demo / application soon. I am going to be doing a full 10-hour wear test to put this to the test. Apparently this is supposed to last 12 hours, so we shall see. But before we get into that, I do want to quickly talk about my skin type. So my skin type is very combination. My T-zone gets very oily, my chin is dry as the Sahara Desert, and then the rest of my face is very normal. So I have a little bit of everything, and then in addition to that, I also suffer from hormonal cystic acne and perioral dermatitis. So whatever you got, I probably have it going on. I also really want to mention, because I think I forgot to mention this before, this is actually fragrance free, which I absolutely love. That is huge to me. I do not like fragrance in makeup or skincare products, so kudos to Morphe for making a fragrance free foundation. And without further ado, let's get right on into the demo footage. Now, I never know how much product to use on the first time, and I always usually end up going in with way too much, but let's just do 1 pump of this and see how far it goes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and warm this up a little bit with my finger. The texture is definitely like a cream consistency. When I have a foundation that's like a little bit more liquidy or watery, I usually don't do that, but when it is like more creamy and thick, I do kind of like to warm it up because I feel like it just thins it out a little bit and it makes it a little bit more easy to apply and blend. I'm just gonna start dotting this on this side of my face. I do wanna go in with the brush. I usually always go in with the sponge side first, but I figured that because they released a brush with this foundation and I have it, why not try it with the brush first? So I'm just going to take the excess that's on my hand, and this brush is like a really interesting shape. So I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna, like, I don't want to rub it down. Oh, I guess I could do that. Let's see. Okay, the foundation definitely dries not super quickly, but it's already starting to set down. I think this shade match is like literally perfect for me. Like it matches my neck perfectly, which is awesome. Okay, so I like this brush. I feel like it took me 5 seconds to blend out the foundation since this is a really big brush and it's looking really, really nice. Let me zoom you in. So here is one layer / one pump of the foundation. I think that the skin is looking really, really nice. I definitely think that coverage wise, it's a true medium foundation. Obviously, we will see if we can build this up. And I would say that it sets down fast, not super fast where you don't have time to blend it out, but definitely on like the faster side. And the finish is looking really nice and natural. So this side is looking really, really good. I'm gonna do the same thing for this side. I'm gonna go in with one pump to start us out. I'm just gonna warm this up a little bit and dot it on. Before I start blending this out, I do wanna quickly mention that you can see from this side to this side that the foundation did oxidize just a little bit. I do still think that the color looks really good on this side with it being a little oxidized, but I definitely wanted to highlight that. All right, let's start blending this out. I love the coverage. Like I feel like a lot of times foundations will say medium or medium to full, and they're really like a light medium to medium. Like they're not like a true medium. I do think that this coverage is like a really true medium right in the middle, which I love. Here is the close-up of one layer and one pump of the foundation with my sponge. I just went ahead and added some foundation down my neck, and I love the foundation just dry down or set down rather just a little bit because we are gonna go in with the second layer. Of course, we need to test if this is really a medium to full coverage foundation, but so far right off the bat, first impressions of one layer of this foundation, it's looking absolutely beautiful. It's looking absolutely beautiful. The coverage with technically 2 pumps for my whole face is looking really, really nice. I will say that I'm happy it's fragrance free, but it definitely smells like paint. Sort of like, yeah, like the MAC foundation smell like, but I don't mind that. That doesn't bother me. I kind of like that smell. And listen, I prefer it smell like that than be like totally fragranced. And then as far as sponge versus brush, I don't know. I feel like the brush definitely gives a little bit more coverage than the sponge. You can sort of see it here. My breakouts over here are definitely more covered than the breakouts I'm having over here. So I will say that, but I do want to go in with the second layer, and I think the second layer I'm just going to go in with the sponge just because I feel most comfortable, and I just prefer using sponges. It really just depends on your preference. I also will say that this brush is super duper cool, and I love how big it is, and it really applies the foundation really nicely and quickly. But that being said, I just prefer a sponge. So let's go in with the second layer with my sponge. So I'm just going to take one more pump, and I'm just going to warm that up a little bit. And with my finger, I'm just applying it on the spots only that I need more coverage because I think overall the coverage looks good. So I don't want to add a second layer like to my entire face. All right, let's do this. I'm really praying that it builds on top of itself really, really well. Okay, off to a good start. Let's see this. I have like a huge colony cyst happening over here. Ooh, okay. It's layering on top of itself very, very well. I'm getting excited. With the excess on my sponge, why not? Let's just add it to the rest of my face. Here is a quick close-up of how my skin is looking with 2 layers of the foundation. It's looking amazing. It's looking amazing. I am definitely shocked right now. Really, really happy shocked, of course, because obviously I want this foundation to work out. I'm really shocked. I think my skin is looking amazing. The second layer of foundation went on really easy, really quick, blended out like a dream. I literally cannot stop looking at my skin in the mirror because my skin and this foundation is looking absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. With that second layer, I got that full coverage. It's not looking heavy anywhere. It's not looking cakey anywhere. It's not grabbing on any of my texture on my chin. I got a lot of texture happening from the breakouts that I have, and it's not accentuating that at all. It's not accentuating or grabbing onto my dryness on my chin because I do get very dry on my chin. It's looking absolutely beautiful. I also feel like my pores are really nice and minimized on my nose and on my inner cheek. And it's not getting into or exaggerating any of my wrinkles on my forehead. I'm like blown away. I'm literally blown away. The finish is looking absolutely gorgeous. It's a really, really true natural finish, but it definitely is setting down on its own. Like, I don't even think I'll really need setting powder for this. It's not like drying down matte, but it's definitely settling down on its own. Wow. This looks absolutely stunning. I do want to quickly mention, because I just realized I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the demo, that I didn't use any primers. So if you are new here, anytime I try a new foundation, I never use primer, because I have really amazing primers that will make my skin super hydrated and super glowy. And then on the flip side, I have incredible primers that will matte everything in my T-zone and make my pores vanish. So when I'm trying a new foundation, I don't want any of that. I want to see how the foundation is just working on its own. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and let you all know how all of the other products layered onto this foundation and blended out onto this foundation, and so on and so forth. So I will see you in a bit. And here is the finished makeup look. My makeup is looking amazing. Like, my skin is looking absolutely beautiful. I did not use a setting powder. I did not use a setting spray, just because I didn't think I really needed it. The foundation definitely set all the way down, but it didn't set down in the way that feels like matte or anything on the skin. It's just a beautiful, beautiful natural finish. Really quickly, I do want to mention what else I'm wearing on my face. So first, I tried out the Jason Wu lipstick on my eyes. These are actually multi-sticks. I'm wearing the shade Apple Pie on my cheeks as my blush, and it is beautiful as a blush. If you haven't seen my Jason Wu beauty video already, I'll link it down below. So I went ahead and used the Biscotti on my eyes to see how it would work as a cream shadow. Amazing, so easy. I've been wearing this for like 20 to 30 minutes, has not creased, has not gone anywhere. 10 out of 10. And then on my lips, I am wearing the Jason Wu Honey Fluff in the shade Woo Me, mixed with the Honest Beauty BFF liquid lipstick. If you want something that will not budge, that will literally last all day, will not smear off or transfer if you are drinking, eating, whatever it is, I highly recommend these two. Going back to the foundation, I quickly want to talk about the brush. I really enjoy this brush, but going back to what I said, I think it's all personal preference. I always prefer to use a sponge, but I will say that the brush definitely gave more coverage than the sponge, and I absolutely love how big it is. So if you do want a really great brush to use with this that's super duper quick and will give you the most coverage possible, I would definitely check out picking this up. And that being said, I will see you all in 5 hours. All right, we are back for the 5-hour check-in. I think overall the makeup is just looking amazing. I think that this foundation is just amazing. I absolutely love it. It feels really nice and comfortable on the skin. I don't feel it on my skin. You know, I'm not aware of it or anything like that. After 5 hours, my chin is still looking good. It's not looking dry or cakey. I will definitely say that you can clearly see some oil coming through on my T-zone, which should be expected since this is not a matte foundation and because I didn't set it at all. So I am going to go ahead and use my number 7 Lift and Illuminate powder in the shade Light Medium. And I am going to go ahead and just set this a little bit and see how it looks with the setting powder. Yep, it still looks really, really good with that powder on. I am extremely impressed. I'm extremely impressed by this foundation. I mean, it's only been 5 hours, but it hasn't broken up or separated or done anything weird at all. So far, so good. I will see you back in another 5 hours, and hopefully at the 10-hour mark, it's still looking just as good. All right, we are back. I am exhausted. It's definitely been over 10 hours. I think it's been closer. What time is it right now? Yeah, it's probably closer. I'm at like the 11.5, 12-hour mark at this point. And let me tell you, this foundation looks amazing. It looks amazing. It looks almost as good as when I first put it on. I will say quickly that I did go ahead and blot my T-zone and my forehead a few times. I did go ahead and put some powder over at the 5-hour mark. And then I want to say I blotted it 3 to 4 hours after that. So I do think that if you are more on the oily side, all you really need to do is A, use a mattifying primer, B, actually set it down because I didn't set it down initially, and or C, a mattifying setting spray, and you will be good. Although my oils did come out, it wasn't really that bad, if that makes sense. Like, I've tried some foundations that are supposed to be like matte foundations and my forehead is like dripping after 3 hours. This foundation is not like that. Yes, my oils definitely came through, but they definitely came through minimally and like throughout the day. It wasn't like after 3 or 4 hours, I looked in the mirror and I was like dripping in oil everywhere, if that makes sense. And then as far as like my normal and dry areas, it's looking amazing. Usually with a lot of foundations, the first few hours will look good, but then my chin where I get super dry will just look like flaky and dry and cakey and broken up and just disgusting. No, this literally looks almost as good on the face as when I fully applied it. So definitely the claim where it says it lasted 12 hours, I can 100% tell you that that is true. I feel like they nailed it with foundation. Every single claim that they listed is definitely like valid and correct and all of that. I am floored. This may be my new holy grail natural finish foundation. Like, I can already tell I am floored by this. The longevity is amazing. The coverage is amazing. It does not have fragrance. It can work for any skin type. It covers up acne. I don't know what else to say about this. This is just amazing. And with that being said, that is all for today's video. If you like this, please let me know by giving this a thumbs up. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.